Hi, we're here today to talk about Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs was founded in 1869 in New York, New York. It was founded by a German immigrant, Marcus Goldman. Later, in 1882, Marcus Goldman's son-in-law, Samuel Sachs, joined the firm, creating Goldman Sachs Group. It's in the financial industry. It specializes in diverse investments. It does stock symbols GS. It's traded on the New York Stock Exchange and joined the New York Stock Exchange in 1896. These are some of the key executives. The man at the very top is Lloyd Blankfein. He's the CEO of Goldman Sachs and has been for a few years. Some of the major equity holders, including Mr. Blankfein, are as shown. These are reported as of January 25th, 2010. Now, investment banking, which is one of the main areas of Goldman Sachs business, is split into two divisions. One is financial advisory, which includes mergers and acquisitions, investment strategies, corporate defense activities, restructuring, and spin-offs. Now, the most common one known that most investment banking companies do is underwriting, which includes public offerings and private placement of equity, putting shares out on the exchanges. Now, the major competitors are JP Morgan Chase & Company, Morgan Stanley, Bank of America Investment Services, UBS Investment Bank, and Citi Global Markets. Now, here we've posted up a couple of the money type issues that Goldman Sachs goes through. One being balance sheet, which it has $848.942 billion of assets. Its liabilities total $778.228 billion and $70.714 million of stockholder equity. Now we move over to net income, and we have total revenue of $45.173 billion, operating income of $19.829 billion, leaving us with a net income of $13.385 billion, doing very well for themselves at this time. Now, the current state of the company is, so-so in certain areas, but others it's great, as the investment banking area is generating income from its core business. 17% of total revenues are coming from its core business. It's highly leveraged, however. In some of the areas of business that we're going to speak about later, Goldman Sachs has a lot of leverage, which is an area of weakness. Now, it has turned into a bank holding company given the most recent credit crisis. It also is under scrutiny from the government for executive compensation, which we'll speak about in a few moments. Also, it's facing tougher regulations from Congress and for the financial industry in general. Now, mergers and acquisitions are an area of opportunity. They're up, and they're going to be leading to greater profits industry-wide. Now, everyone knows about the TARP, and TARP has been repaid. Bonuses, once again, are being repaid. And this allows for Goldman Sachs to attract the top talent from universities, retain the top talent. So when we talk about talent from other universities, I'm going to pass that off onto Victor, and he's going to explain to you how Goldman Sachs relates to FIU.
Employment and career opportunities from Goldman Sachs. Like every other investment banking, there's plenty of careers and opportunities for you guys in the field of investment banking. First of all, to start off is internship. Like every other place, you got to land an internship. You grow, you learn, you figure out what's going on in the company. You pretty much get your foundation set up. And Goldman Sachs has the best internships. I mean, they start off with one-day orientations. You work alongside all kinds of mentors and meteors help you out. We have, when you get into it, new analyst positions, a little bit better. You start off. They have their own university where you can pretty much grow, and whatever you haven't picked up in your education before, you pretty much learn it over there. As far as business and culture, expectations, and everything, they also include divisional training. Now, for new associates, a little bit further step into it, you pretty much shadow all kinds of professionals in the field from all around the globe. They offer firm-wide orientation training. You learn the culture, the business of the Goldman Sachs, offer divisional training also. And then for a little bit more experience and already into the field, you pretty much jump right into it. I mean, it has firm-wide orientation, divisional orientation and training. Now, as far as hiring FIU students, just like any other investment bank, Goldman Sachs graduates come from all kinds of university and courses. I mean, as well as the academic discipline, they also want to look at the personal skills and how you deal with individuals personally. It's one of the biggest things in investment banking. You got to build relationships, and without that, I mean, you're pretty much nowhere. Now, far as evaluating candidates, they look at 6 core achievements. They want to see your achievements: leadership, commercial focus, analytical thinking, teamwork, ability to make an impact. Now, as far as FIU and Goldman Sachs, I mean, annually they host all kind of career fairs with internship opportunities. They usually host it on campus resume writing workshops, as well as technology recruiting team from here in FIU. Now, once you've jumped into the field here at Goldman Sachs, there's many investment opportunities. And one of the biggest ones that we're going to talk about now is trading derivatives. And to talk to you a little bit about it, we have Mike. What do you think, Mike?
Hi, my name is Franco, and I'm going to be talking to you about Goldman Sachs and how they have become the most profitable and elite investment bank in the United States today and possibly the world. Now, through their core business, investment banking, the issuance of stock, and their financial advisory work, such as mergers and acquisitions, as Bijan stated earlier, they make a lot of money. But that's not how they make most of their money. They make most of their money through an investment strategy known as derivatives. Now, what is a derivative? A derivative is any security whose price is determined by the value of another asset, referred to as the underlying asset. Now, basically, it derives their value from other financial instruments known as the underlying asset. Derivatives serve 2 main purposes: hedging and speculation. When we're talking about hedging, we're talking about mitigating risk, reducing risk. When you enter the marketplace, you expose yourself to different types of risk out there, so you have to do something to reduce that risk so you don't have future losses. Instead, it actually has resulted in gains for the company by using the strategy. And this is also, you can look at it as an insurance plan, so you won't have tremendous losses. You use a strategy. Now, the other strategy is speculation. Basically, it's the opposite. You're acquiring risk. What you're doing here is you're betting against the person who hedged their risk, and you're saying that they're going to be wrong. And this is where Goldman Sachs has made most of their money: speculation. Okay. Now, derivatives has 4 main forms, and those are known as swaps, forwards, futures, and options. Now, swaps are basically contracts to exchange cash flows on or before specified future date based on the underlying value of currencies, exchange rates, bonds, interest rates, commodities, stocks, or other assets. Now, futures and forwards are very similar. The only difference is that futures are standardized and they're on exchange, and forwards are not. Now, the definition of a future and forward is contracts to buy and sell an asset on or before a future date at its price specified today. Now, the other one is options. Options basically is a contract which you enter where you have that give the owner the rights but not the obligation to buy or sell an asset. Some strategies are put options, call options. Now, the major derivative underlying assets are interest rate derivatives, foreign exchange derivatives, credit derivatives, equity derivatives, and commodity derivatives. It can be traded over the counter or through an exchange.